So, last class we had discussed about a different constraint that you can impose on each of the attribute of a relation. So, in the beginning of the class I said the database. So, database is nothing but a collection of tables or collection of relation. So, this is this is a university database, right? This complete it is called as a university database. This university database consists of employee table, department table, works on table, department location, say project and say dependent. So, these are the independent table that holds the information about the different objects or different entity. This employee table stores the information about the employee, like what is the the first name of the employee, middle initial, last name, SSN, birth date, address and so on. The department table consists of D name, D number, manager SSN and manager start date when the manager took in charge. Okay. The works on table is a what? The department, the department employee is been assigned to a different work in the projects, right? Is been assigned to a different project. So, the about project, the information about the project is stored in a relation called project. So, now the project, employee and say department are independent tables or independent relation. But whatever the data which is been stored in each of the tables or each of the relations are related in some means or indirectly they are related. Now, so it looks like is an independent table. When you talk about a database, the data or the table say data which is presented in each table are related, means database should contain related data. But we are not storing all the data of different objects in a single table. But instead, what we do is we create a table such that each table store the information about particular entity, but the data which is present in a different entity, if you feel it's related, then what we do is we create a link or relations among the tables, and that relations can be created, as I said, the relations can be created with the help of foreign key. Now, if you look at the table as I call database, so if you look at this employee table, the employee table consists of SSN, right? As SSN, right? This is social security number. Now, as we know that, as we discussed, at least we need one of the field to distinguish one record with the another record. So, means the such that no two record present in the relations are same. Okay. So, now the how to design such a database such that the value that we entered in the particular column are unique without any null values. In such case, what you can do is you can define a constraint. It means that, so you can specify a primary key constraint on the table, on the say field called SSN. Okay. So, now if you look at the data that is present in employee table and say department table. So, already we know that no employee exists without department, isn't it? But department information present in the department table, information the employee table consists of only information about employees, but department and employee are related. How they are related? So, means this department table and the employee table, you must create a relation. So, to create a relation among the tables or among the relations, we need at least one field, at least one field. Now, you can able to create a relations between the employee table and the department table by using one of the data. What is which data that you are going to use is department number. Using department number, I can able to create a relation between these two, right? So, between these two. So, now when there exists a relation, then what kind of relation exists in the database? So, that is called parent and child relationship. Then which table is a parent and which table is a the child? So, as I said, no employee can exist without a department, means first department exists, then you can employ or you can see department, employee exists in the department. So, in that case what you can do is by using so we know that each department are assigned to a unique number, say called department number. This department number and this department number, so you look at here are same, right, are same. So, this is called foreign key and this is called primary key. You know that every records in each table should be unique. Then how do you define it? By using primary key. So, when you create a relationship among the table, so now the primary key value become a foreign key value in a parent table, child table. So, this is a parent table and this is a child table, right? This is a parent and this is a child table. Now, so then only you can able to create a parent as a relation among the tables. While creating a child table, you have to make sure that the foreign key value that you enter here, should present in a parent table. Means whatever the value that is a part of parent table must be there in the department number of child table. You cannot enter a number or you cannot enter a department which not exist. Means no employee present in the department, right? Without a department, so that department do not contains any employees, right? Do not contains any employees. This is how you can create a relationship among the table by using the foreign key. In the foreign key, it is parent and child relationship. Now, when you create a child table to create and say when you want to create a relation among them, then you need to create a parent table first, then you need to create a child table. While entering the value for the child table, whatever the value that you enter as a part of child table, this value must exist in the parent table first. You cannot enter the value which is not present in the parent table as a part of child table, right, as a part of child. So, this is a condition you have to remember while creating a relationship among the tables. Now, giving names to the constraint, right, giving names to the constraint. Why it is necessary to give name as a name to the constraint? When you create a constraint without name, the database is going to assign a default name to the constraint, So, if a default name is assigned by the database to the constraint, then it is very difficult. So, the constraint should be given a name for the, and say if you give the name for the constraint, that is useful whenever you want to modify the constraint. Otherwise, the database will assign a default name to that. It say in case if if the constraint name is assigned for a the constraint, then it is very difficult to identify what is the name of the constraint when case if you wanted to alter. So, each constraints will be given a name. So, that is called name of the constraint. So, this name, giving name to the constraint is important for altering, when you altering the constraint or the rules on the field. Specifying check constraint. As I said, you can specify or you can impose check constraint on tuple, right? So on tuples, that is called the on, say you can able to impose a constraint on each row or nothing but tuple. So then how you can specify? You can use check constraint to impose a condition on each tuple. Apply to each tuple individually. So when you use check constraint, say for example, check department create date should be less than manager start date. It is a common that one can able to take a charge of managing the department. So and that department date should be less than the department created date. So the no manager exists without department, right? So next is so far we discussed about the different constraint that you can impose on a fields or the relation of the attribute relations. Now once the data is once the table is created in the database, right, once data is entered in the database, I want to view the different data or the records stored in the database. Say for example, this is a table A, this contains some data, right, say A, B, C. So this is the data. Now I want to see the content of this table, right, content of this table. Then what you can do is you can make use of select statement, right? You can make use of select statement. Then what does the select statement do? Select statement, it is going to retrieve the data from the relations, or say called the table, used to retrieve the information from the database. So if you want to display or retrieve the data that is stored in the database, we are going to use select. User can access the data based on specific condition. You can get the data of complete database, or you can get the data on the particular conditions, right, or the specified data you can get and you can display to the user by using select statement. Now this is the basic form of the select statement. Select the attribute list. Attribute list is nothing but the field names, right, that is field names. And say from select attribute list from the table list, from which table you want to display the data. So next is where, right? What is the where is used to specify the condition. Means if you wanted to filter the data from the database on based on some condition, then you have to specify the condition based on which that you want to filter the data. Then what you can do is you can display all the information from the database. Okay. So now while using, you can use the the select statement in two form. In the where class, what you can do is you can specify logical comparison operator, or say in the select statement you can specify the attributes whose value that you wanted to select. The select condition specifies that the value retrieved is true, right? The value retrieved is true, means the value that is displayed to the user must be there. Say example for select, right? Then select statement is that, so select star from employee. This is the name of the table, from which table that you want to retrieve and select. This is select statement. Star indicates all the attribute values, like say F name, this means middle name, last name, SSN, birthday date, address, sex, salary, super SSN, D number. So here what we are trying to do is, we are trying to use a select statement to display the content of a employee table. Suppose in case if you use star, it is going to display the value of all the columns, right? Value of all the columns. Suppose if you wanted to retrieve the value of a specific column, then we can modify the select star from the table name. So you can modify it as, say, select birthday date, address from employee, so that it displays only the birth date and the address of a respective employee. So this is a where condition. So where condition is to, as I said, it is used to filter the data. So means if you look at the previous, if you look at this table, this table displaying all the employee information, right? So how many records are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 records. There are 8 employee records present in the employee table. But it is displaying all the information about the employee, like say F name, middle name, last name, SSN and all. Okay. But if you look at the next select statement, this statement displaying only the two field value, birthday date and the address. Only these two column values are displayed, and only these two column values are displayed based on this condition. Means this information, this select statement displaying the employee information whose first name is John and middle name is say B and the last name is Smith. Means this condition must be true. This condition must be true. Means whoever the employee has name, first name as John and the middle name as B and the last name is Smith, means this data must be present. All these 3 data must be present in your table. If any one of the table, if any one of the value is not present, then it is going to it will display you the 0 record, since we know that how the AND operator works. The AND operator, it is going to compare two, that I will discuss this later. So it is going to compare two field values and it expects both of the value must be true. Both of the condition must be true. If any one of the condition fails, then the output is 0. Means it do not display any information. So now if you look at the question, this query, the output of this query is this. So it is trying to display birth date and address, and this is the employee information. The same query can be rewritten to display the information about the research department with the first name, last name and the address. So this is another variation of select statement. So what you can do is, you can use select star from table name. In that case, it is going to display all the information about all the records of a table. And if you wanted to display the value of a specific field, then you can specify the specific field in the select statement. And if you wanted to filter the records which is present in the table based on certain condition, then you have to specify where class, right? Where class are used to filter the records in the table. So now if you wanted to write a query, or if you wanted to display the data for this query, for every project located in Stanford, list the project number, the controlling department number and the department manager's last name, address and birthday. This is a query, right? This is a query. Now we have to write an SQL statement for that. So what they are asking is that for every project, as I so just you can see the different the database which was populated with the different the relations, right. So we are getting the same data, right, we are getting the data from those table, right, means this select statement is giving the data from the university database, that as I discussed beginning of this session. Okay, so now if you look at that, the university database, the project table contains P number, department number present in the department table, last name, address and birthday present in the employee table, right. So now these two fields, that is these three fields we are getting it from employee, this D number we are getting it from department, and the project number we are getting it from project, means so here we are trying to display or fetch the or retrieve the data from three tables, right. So you can display the data from the multiple tables. So here we are trying to display the data from three tables, because the data which is expected by this query present in three tables, because say department number of the employee compared with the department number of department, and the manager assistant should be there in the should be an assistant, and the location is Stanford. Location is Stanford, means whoever working in Stanford, we are going to we wanted to display information about such employees, right. So now if you look at the output of this query, so there are two person who are this is one person working on two projects, one person by name say Wallace is working on two projects. For every project located in Stanford, list the project number. What is the project number associated with this? This is the 10 and 30. Who is controlling the department? So this is the 4, right? Department 4. So right. So now if you go to department number of say department, you will come to know which department it is, right? So next is say, and the department manager's last name, So this is the last name which is we are getting it from say employee, address is also getting from employee, and birthday is also getting from employee. Okay, so means this is a query, and this is the output of the query, and this is a SQL statement. The SQL statement are written to fetch the data from the database. Okay. So next is say ambiguous attribute names. Ambiguous attribute name means when you are trying to fetch the data from more than one table, there are the chances that two table can have same attribute name, right? It can have same attribute name. In such cases, so DBMS will get confusion that which column we need to display, right? Which column we need to display. So in such cases, what you can do is you can give a alias name to the table as well as to the columns. So that is called say the ambiguous attribute names, means when you are trying to display the data from the multiple tables, and when the multiple tables contains same attribute name, so that can be avoided by giving different names to the table or the column name. So for example, select F name employee dot name address, right? So now here whenever whenever two or more relation contains same attribute name, in such cases what you can do is you can prefix with a table name. You can prefix or you can specify such attributes by specifying table name dot the name of the attribute, right. So, here f name is there, then the employee dot name. So, where employee is the name of the table, dot name is the attribute that is present in the employee table. Then the address. So, from employee say department, where department dot name is equal to research and the department dot d number is equal to employee dot d number. So, means, so if you look at these two, if you look at these two tables, say employee and the department. So, department contains department name and say employee contains say department contains d name, d number, MGR SSN and say MGR date, starting date. So, in case assume that this department number, if you have not given this field, the field name as a d number, in case if you have given this as a d num, right. So, d num. So, now if you look at this field present in say department and d number present in this, both are same, right. The name of the attribute is same. In that case, the database will get a confusion that whether I have to display the values from this field or this field. There is an ambiguity, right. There is an ambiguity. Then how you can avoid this ambiguity, right. So, in such cases, what you can do is you can use say table name, dot field name, right, table name dot field name. Now, what you can do is say if you wanted to display the data from department number of department, you specify department dot d num. So, in that case it is trying to display the information from this field. Suppose in case if you wanted to display the information from employee table, then what you can do is employee dot d number, right, employee dot d number. It means that the ambiguity which exists in the field name can be avoiding by incorporating incorporating the relation name or say called department name. So, the table name. Right, this is what this query says, right. So, ambiguous attribute names when two or more relation contains same field name, in that case what you can do is just you can mention the name of the table dot then field name, right, name of the table dot field name. In that case, so it is going to display the data from the respective table. So, next is say aliasing, giving a different name to the table and the name of the column, right. So, say the alias is required when the name of the table is too long, name of the column is too long, right. In that case, what you can do is you can give a short name to the table or short name to the column. So, that can be done by using aliasing or renaming. So, let us see how it can be done. So, whenever you wanted to display the data with aliasing, what you can do is you can use a keyword called as. As is a keyword that is used for giving a different name, an alternate name to the table as well as to the field, means the AS as this keyword is used for aliasing. Okay. So next is say unspecified where class and uses of the asterisk, the star. What is that? The star. Missing where class indicates that no condition on tuple selection, no condition on tuple. So it means it is going to display all the records, all the columns from the specified, from the respective table. So it is like select star from employee. So what we are doing is we are writing an SQL statement without where class. So here we have not specifying without, means we are trying to fetch the records from employee table without any condition. It means if the table contains 100 records, it is going to display all the 100 records. Suppose you wanted to filter the records from the table, then how you can filter that? You can filter by using where class. If you do not specify where class, it is going to display all the records, and if you specify the where class, it is going to filter the records. So now say here it is a query, select all the employees SSN and all the combination of employees SSN department D name in the database. In that case, what you do is we are selecting all the records from employee table as well as from the department table. Then how do you write a query? Select SSN from employee. So next is select SSN comma D name from employee and the department. So this query is trying to display all the records from the say employee table, and this query try to display all the records from the two tables, right? The employee and the department, right? So here we have not specified any where class.